Stars and wishes. Here we go. All right, stars and wishes for the finale.
Whoa! Woo! Wow.
Okay.
What a time. The dice, eh?
Wait,
wow.
actually, is it actually recording yet?
Oh.
Now, okay, now it's recording. Now,
oh.
Is it? Yes, it is.
Is this on my end, I think? Oh, okay.
Good. All right, stars and wishes. Hello, Fiona.
Oh, God.
This is like less than a minute after we finished recording
What
that.
a game, eh?
What a game. Star, I'm just gonna jump right into this. All right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna jump right in.
Go for it.
Star, I want to say, just the willingness to, like, this is the longest session we've done.
Yes.
And just that you kept the energy coming the whole way through.
You.
And we were able to keep pushing through and get to, like, what I thought was like a cool wrap for this character.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, Star, I had many ideas of how I thought this might end. I probably ended up cutting the part where you mentioned, like, hey, by the way, if you want this to end really, if you can only see this ending in a very dark way right now, go for it.
Yeah.
I appreciate your willingness, because at the point we had gotten to, I was like, I don't know how I could give him an out at this point. We are like past the point of no return for this character.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we lipped up all the stress. I've got so much harm, and it's a social character. It's not a combat character. And I'm just there going, like, he's already ruined his own reputation. He's got his sister involved. Yeah. I think ultimately the greed of wanting to become a necromancer has pushed it to do all these very desperate things. So I was like, there's no way out. And that's okay. Like, again, it's that sort of thing where, I love Syrah. I think he's amazing. But, I think the dice rolls were like, he's not long for this world.
No.
But also, there's so many other siblings that easily could come back. And I'm like, well, I can play one of those. So I've deliberately built that in to have more times to come back. So don't worry.
That's fun.
I found that in it.
Oh, that's cool. It would be great if you came back and actually played Guff.
Exactly. Exactly that,
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was... one thing that I think is very interesting about how this wrapped up, is that you are ending at a point where a necromancer has been captured at the home of Liam Dabadasha, holding documents proving that Liam Dabadasha was doing forgeries. Yeah. Also, you created some internal strife between Dabadasha and Hosalda's hired people that were like, both protecting him and also, watching over him for Dabadasha. That's what Dolly and Erna were there for. Mm-hmm. So I think that in many ways you succeeded on your mission. Yeah. Except that there is always an implicit and also survive. And also, because, I don't know if
come out on top. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, come out on top. No, there's an implicit whenever you're doing a mission, don't get arrested at the end. Mm-hmm. Because I in this moment, I don't. You saw me struggle with this, and I'm sure I cut out a lot of this. I don't know exactly what his fate is at this moment. Yeah.
It's interesting, I think, because I feel like, because of where we got to, like at the end of last session, I was thinking to myself, okay, this is bad. Like, again, he sort of was a bit desperate stuff, and I was thought to myself, because he's not done the cool, like, I got an audience with Liam Dabadasha, I was like, no, it is going to be a slippery slope. So I came into this thinking to myself, it kind of doesn't matter because I'm already starting off in a worse position. Similar to how we do the engagement roles, right? I'm like, I'm already in a pretty bad position because I'm not in a room with Liam Dabadasha. So in my head, I was like, you got to pull out the big guns. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like, I think that's my driving force was that at the end of the day, Syrah is not a nice guy. You don't want to be his friend. We saw this in the opening scenes as well. So in my head, I was like, going like, he kind of deserves everything that happens to him. And hopefully that the world is a little bit brighter because he's not, all the stuff he did was motivated by greed and not a heroic thing. And that's the kind of thing I wanted to get across. And hopefully that's what I've done. So, yeah.
I think it's very interesting. I'll say wish on this. Mm-hmm. I think that if you did end up coming back, play another character, like one of the brothers, one of the anything, I think that'd be great.
I think that'd be great.
So I'll put that as a wish.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Also, I would love to see more of the fallout of these characters, and this is more of a wish for me. I realize, but I would love to see the fallout of what has happened here play out.
Yeah. I can give some of my. I was going to say my stars were the absolute reveal that had me gagged was that my sister had been there the whole time. Like, obviously, I knew you had that planned. Obviously, as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, you've been holding on to this for weeks. Yeah. I love it.
You told me, I don't know if you told me during the episode or not, but you told me that you thought that was Liam at first.
Yes, I thought it was Liam,
you thought it was Liam just sort of like exploring his own party on display. But no.
That was great. No,
I had a whole thing for her, in case you had gone to talk to her beforehand. You were going to find her at the theater. She does a lot of illusory work with that and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh yeah. I mean, obviously I wish I'd gone and done that, but obviously I'm too pig-headed and navel-gazing about my own things. I would not have gone to do that. Oh, brilliant.
Also, there is a reason why she was trying to find a forger.
Interesting.
I'll hold on to that because I could potentially use that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I just felt like, again, another star was obviously anytime I hit a ball to your end of the court, it comes flying back at me, and I'm like, all right, so yeah, keeping the energy up over, time of, in terms of recording, we recorded for over 2 hours without stopping, which when it's a one-on-one, I appreciate. It is quite hard to do, and you did an absolutely smashing job of that. So obviously, absolute kudos to you.
You as well.
I think the only wish I have, really, because I said I'm very much a person that's like, the dice tell a story, and I was just like, I'm getting all these twos at the end, and I'm like, oh, well, I mean, that's great, but also like, oh, stupid dice, get some more, wish me get some more dice. Oh no, what a shame, I'll do that. Mm-hmm. But the only thing I thought to myself, because you mentioned, we talked about lockpicks, and I was like, oh, there's something about the lockpick person and how he'd gone away and stuff. And I thought to myself, that is something I didn't explore. And I thought in the moment, I should have really thought about that and maybe look for something like that. And I was like, I'm already on the clock because these chuckleheads downstairs are going to come and get me. So I was like, I didn't follow that. But that's the only one I thought to myself, that felt really important. And I didn't follow it up because I just didn't have time. But so that's the only thing is that I should have, the wish would have been to explore that more. But I think where we got to made total sense for the Ocean's 11, point of view in this story.
Yeah. I will also say on the note of wishes, I think that I want to sort of rework the shake on it ability because it felt like maybe this would be just play out differently in a different sort of story with different sorts of characters. Yeah. But it felt like it was hard to come up with a scenario for you to activate it, which is why I tried to be a little bit more generous at the end, which I saw,
I was very kind of you. I think I was also asking for too much with that ability. I think you're right. In a certain circumstance, in my head, if I'd rolled really well, I'd be in the meeting with Liam Dabadasha. I was ready to be like, oh, I've got this contract for you to sign, or good dealings and stuff. So in my head, that's what I was going to use it for. And then obviously it didn't naturally come up. So I don't think. So I think it's just me, the improviser, trying to wheedle out as much as possible, because obviously we wheedled the I see right through you. Rinsed it for what it's worth, because obviously that was great. And I loved the shocking reveal.
Yeah, that was a great move. Yeah,
I was like, sod it, just gonna use it because if I don't use it now,
then you're not going to.
Well, I didn't think to myself that I'd be in a situation where I might use it again. So I thought, let's scare this person, tee. And then oh no, a chain of unfortunate events.
Speaking of chain of unfortunate events, the reason your sister was going into the mausoleum was because she was trying to find you.
Oh,
so yeah,
but then, that's wild.
But then she ended up turning on you.
That's great.
Later on, yeah,
I love that. Yeah. That's so, honestly, that was so funny, because obviously in my head I was like, oh, so, because obviously I didn't even think it would be the same person doing a different illusory thing. I thought the woman with a stone eye can be in two places at once.
Yeah,
and I was
two
like,
places
that's
at once.
very cool.
Yeah,
and thank God I didn't mess around with her, because that would have been really bad. And it turns out, no, they are two different people, which is great. No, I love that. That reveal, I was like, that was Fiona real time reacting to you going like, oh yeah, that makes more sense than me going like, oh, an incredible. That's why I was like, oh, the thing with the sconces, is she lighting them? And they're like, they're just like sconces. I'm like, yeah, but magically, like she's got a stone eye. What else could she do? Like
the stone eye. It is magical.
Yes,
but yeah. One thing that was fun, which I'm sure you'll catch when if you go back and listen to the session. She calls you, your sister calls you blood at one point. And with the reason she is like, just like, oh yeah, guff dusk stone. All right, sure. Like, she's like, yeah, I see who you are, idiot. Like, her vibe.
Yeah, I completely didn't get that.
Like, obviously no one else is catching on to this because, no one has any reason to.
Not even me. Yeah, I didn't catch on to it at all.
But like the people in the room are just like, oh yeah, they have no reason to doubt what you're saying, and they 100% believe it. She just knows because she's met her brother. So I think it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. That was great. Yeah. And yeah, massive star to you for, obviously, like I said, you already had that plan that she'd turn up and stuff like that. But I know that was a wish from last time. I was like, oh, I hope I meet her and da-da-da-da. And I was like, what a way. And I am glad that, because I thought to myself, I don't want her, like, again, I'm happy for all my characters to get harmed from it, and same with the NPCs. And I thought to myself, I would rather Syrah took the brunt of it and that she gets away, because then, again, it's like, oh, a heroic thing for him to do. Maybe he's all right. But moreover, that she would hate the fact that he did something nice for her. That's it. It's all sibling rivalry stuff.
Oh, yeah. I bet that because Jacques was present at that last little bit. And he was like, I wasn't going to have him take action unless you called on that in some way. I was leaving that in your court.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you are being hauled away and he realizes he can't do anything about this, he probably would try to like help your sister in that moment.
I think so too. Yeah.
I would imagine that if I have those characters show up in the future, they will probably be working together.
Yeah.
But this is not a guarantee, future audience, but yeah.
No, but I would be very very happy with that, because again, we don't know what really Jacques just like he was a keen guy. Yeah. And like
his family has connections to your family.
His family has connections to my family. I think I wouldn't see any issue with him going like, well, here's someone who maybe appreciates my stuff a bit more. I think it would be a nice thing to do, I think, to have them together. And I think she'd appreciate him a bit more, I would assume. Or at least they'd get on a bit together rather than Syrah's sort of like dismissive and also in terrible athletic skill. Get on the roof. Yes. That's what any normal person would do.
I thought that was so amazing. Oh gosh, I appreciate your willingness to not play necessarily to your strengths. Like, you play to your strengths when it's appropriate, but then when like you want to go another way, you're like, I will go this other way.
Because I think like I said to you, it's like often what happens is that you get stuck doing what you're best at. And so it's like, oh, well, I look for papers. Oh, I look for a journal. And it's just the same. Well, and again, that's totally fine. But I was just like, now, what is more interesting right now? Is that because he's not. He is a admin person. Yeah. There's like a film coming out right now where someone's being blackmailed into becoming like some sort of FBI shooter-upper assassin person. And I like that idea of like going like, I will bumble my way through, but like is good in certain areas, but absolutely diabolically rubbish in others. Yeah. So again, it's fun for that. And also it allows me to be that improv person. Like, what would I do in this moment if I had any of these skills? And I'm like, yeah, I'd go on the roof. I can't stay here and I can't go downstairs. So up we go, so yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. All right. Well, I think that, I think we've covered pretty much what we should cover. Is there anything you want to shout out or anything from this experience you want to call attention to before we wrap up?
Sure. I'll do the obviously big star. Thank you so much for having me on. This is the first two-person game that I've had where I've not been the GM, and let me tell you, it's been really lovely, and I very much appreciate that and all the hard work you've put into it. Like, obviously, a massive shout out, and many listeners won't know this, but Ty has been absolutely wonderful to work with in terms of giving me recaps before every episode in text form, checking to make sure we're okay, rescheduling when we need to for various reasons, and it's just been such a lovely experience to be like, oh, this person gets being creative, not only just in performing but also around it, and it's rare that happens necessarily, so I just wanted a big shout out for that, really.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and obviously the big thing is, like, this whole stuff is improvised.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we've got a really cool story that neither of us probably knew this was going to happen, and so yeah, I just want to massively big up which sounds so silly, but like, massive big up to collaborative storytelling, everyone, and Forging the Dark Systems. But yeah, I just want to say what a brilliant experience, and obviously, if you ever think to yourself, you know what, we need another Duststone story, you know where I will be, and I will play every single one of my siblings if I need to. Even a cousin might turn up, you know, all that sort of thing. So, but yeah, no, absolutely wonderful experience, and that's what I wanted to shout out was just thank you so much for having me, and it's been an absolute highlight of my Friday evenings.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I guess with that, we will wrap up. And until next time, bye, everybody. I hope everybody's enjoyed these little bonus episode, mini post-show things.
Yeah.
Post shows.
All
right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you to the Joy Drops for the use of Not Drunk as our intro and outro music. Thanks to all of our guests, and thanks to you for listening. You can find us and say hi over at sidecharacterquest.com or by checking out our show notes for more links and information. If you're enjoying the show, drop a rating or review wherever you listen to podcasts, and we'll see you around. Bye!
Hey, I'm Brooke. My friends and I perform spooky stories on our podcast, 13. 13 is a movie for your ears with immersive sound design and music from our composer. And we're not reading you the same old ghost stories from Reddit. With original stories from our in-house writers and submissions from up-and-coming authors, 13 will make you smile, break your heart, and have you wishing for a nightlight. Atmospheric, slow burn, always spooky, and sometimes sexy. Our friends are some of the best voice actors and writers in our little corner of the podcast industry. So if you want to find out why those figures in black keep meeting by the water just before dawn, why you should never sleep in a room with an empty chair, or why you hear faint music echoing from the abandoned mall, join us by following 13 wherever you're listening right now. That's 13, the word, not the number, all spelled out. Bridget Howard keeps asking for my teeth. Wherever you get your podcasts.
This is going to get cut and put in the bloopers.
I was about to tell you something that I was like, I feel like this could potentially be interesting, so I'm just putting on the recording real quick.
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to shut off. Like, I let that little last scene extend quite a bit because I thought that there was a chance you might call on like a flashback to the Lumineers, who in like bribing one of them back in that alley, or being like, all right, and then, you know, I told Jacques to like meet up with these people, blah, blah, blah. I thought you might try to do something like that. But I also knew that you were very low on stress. And so you would only be able to do that if you came up with like a really good justification for why it would only be like, you only had one stress left, right?
I've got I've got 4.
4. Okay. So you probably could have justified it.
I could have done it, but I will counter that by saying I did give one of them dog biscuits because I didn't like what they'd done. And I feel like, again, as I sort of described that, I think Syrah is someone who doesn't like asking for help unless he's thought about it. And I think his pride would have got in the way of anything like that. I like where you were thinking.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, because he's just like, no.
Gotcha.
Again, I think that was getting in the way, but I like that. Again, it is a good get out of free one, but I don't think it's not something where I don't know if I could have justified it to myself because I just was like so strongly like, give them a dog biscuit.
Yeah.
I will never deal with these characters again. And then, oh no, consequences of my actions.
So like those guys, and then also Jacques, those were the reason that I was like sort of stringing along that last scene longer than probably was necessary, because you were happy with where things had ended, where they had landed, and I was like keeping it going. But anyway,
no, I appreciate that. I appreciate you checking it out for me as well, just in case I go, oh wait, and then because again, it's about giving things space to breathe, but also being then like, oh, we're moving on. That's totally okay. So yeah,
cool.
Signs of a good GM. That's what I say.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to stop recording again and.